This is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to Choose to Rise. I am so grateful that you've decided to push play with me today and that you are here listening in. And I feel like it's been a hot minute. Like when expanding these out to every Friday instead of every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, makes me feel more grateful that I have the opportunity to just touch base with you every week, but then also really gets me excited about our little conversations that we get to have because they're not as frequent as they used to be. So I wanted to say hello. I want to say thank you for being here, for telling your friends about Choose to Rise, and just coming back every single week. I love having these little conversations. I love interacting with you on my social media as well at kjpmeyer. Following me on Instagram or Facebook. Just staying connected with what we do and who I am and how I can best serve you. And then just learning about you guys too is so much fun because I get to figure out exactly what you need from me and how I can bring more to this podcast, this opportunity to serve you. And I'm really excited about it. So today I want to talk about being present in our everyday life. I know that there's a lot of distractions out there around us right now. It seems like everywhere, every time we turn around or everywhere we look, there seems to be something that's trying to pull us in a different direction. And so I want to share with you 6 ways to be more present in our everyday life and really kind of think about, like, have you ever hesitated before you get out of bed in the morning? I know I do sometimes. Like, my alarm goes off and I lay there for a little bit and I'm thinking like, oh my goodness, what's all about to happen during this day? Or I just think about like my mind just gets swirling and all kinds of things, maybe even trying to just roll over and go back to sleep. But then all of the stuff just keeps, like, all the little tabs of your computer, like pop open all the time and like, what the heck's going on? But oftentimes we create this kind of chaos in our minds before we even get out of beds in the morning. And that kind of just blows everything out of proportion and makes life seem a lot bigger and maybe a lot more hectic, or maybe a lot more crazy than it needs to be. And so I want to help you slow down. I want to help you stop and think. I want to help you be more present in your everyday situation, because when we can stop and think about what's going on and we can start becoming more intentional with our time and really start gaining and finding control in this chaotic life and with all the things that are spinning and buzzing around us, we're able to live a happier and healthier life. So 6 ways that you can be more present in everyday life. Number 1 is start your day by journaling. So instead of laying in bed, like I do some mornings, or just laying there and thinking like of all the things that can happen in a day. And like, sometimes I wonder if my brain will even be able to hold all the things that are going on in my head. The best thing to do, the easiest thing to do, is to make sure you capture all of that information, is to start your day by journaling. So when you're either sitting with a notebook and a pen, or you have, you sit down. I usually come into my office here and sit down with my journal. I write out some affirmations. I have little sticky notes next to me where, like, when something pops in my head that's kind of distracting me and taking me in a different direction that what I'm really working on, I can jot it down on that sticky note as kind of my to-do list. And then I move back to what I'm doing. So just kind of that brain dump, right? Like just getting it all out of your head. And really making sure that you're being intentional with your thoughts and allowing your thoughts to come to you and not be distracted by them. Journaling about our dreams, our fears, our goals, our desires, writing down 3 empowering beliefs about yourself every day, really kind of set yourself up for what to be grateful for and what to kind of look for in your day. It kind of gets your mind geared towards looking for the positive and the good things. And then it gets you kind of just thinking about all the positive things that are going on in your life. And then when you find yourself getting distracted by something that's popping up as like what feels like a little fire that you need to put out, jot it down so you can come back to it later. The second tip I have for you is let people talk without interrupting them. I know this one, it can be a little difficult, especially when you're like in close relationships, like with your spouse or your kids. I have a daughter who just yammers nonstop, and sometimes it's hard to just listen to her. But having conversations with someone, and have you ever felt like theirs are one-sided, like you were both waiting for your own turn to talk, but neither one of you are really listening to one another? Like that happens sometimes. And so the next time you're in a conversation, I want you to just let them do the talking. I want you to take the listener side of the conversation and just let them be. Most of us just want to be acknowledged. And so to know that someone is on the other side listening, be that person for them. You'll start to notice that you'll notice things that you usually miss. You'll start noticing that your brain won't be as busy because you're not trying to think of a comeback or not trying to think of another kind of one-up story, but you get to listen and contemplate and then have a genuine conversation back and forth. The third thing I have for you is to eat more mindfully and without technology. I have developed a little habit lately of like, I work all morning in my office and then I grab my lunch and I sit down and watch a little Amazon Prime or Netflix or something while I'm eating. But I recently tried to just sit in the quiet by myself in my dining room. Maybe the dog is laying near, but like when you actually are devoid of all the distractions and you can just sit and enjoy your food. One, you can taste the actual flavors of your food. Two, it helps you appreciate the little things and the big things. And two, it also keeps you on task, right? It also keeps you in tune with what your body is feeling and thinking before, during, and after meal. It helps you realize when you're full, helps you be more consistent and kind of that relaxed state as well. And so when we're always in that go kind of mental state, eating as fast as we can so we can get on to the next activity, it doesn't give our body good signals. And so when we can slow down, take that time to nourish our bodies and take that time to fuel our bodies versus just shoving in something to make that hunger pain go away, life will be a lot more calm and a lot more present. The fourth tip I have for you is this one is difficult for me as well, is to start single tasking and stop multitasking. I'm a 3 on the Enneagram, and I really pride myself in my ability to multitask. But if you're really honest, like I just really get a lot of things done in a short period of time because I'm a ninja at doing things, but a lot of unproductive time happens as well. And oftentimes when people multitask, I mean, they try to put it out as a skill on a resume, but when you are really doing it, just switching your attention from one task to the other without giving your tasks or your project the time and attention that they really need. And there's been a lot of research done around this activity that you spend more time switching tasks than you actually do working on the task. And so then the quality of work goes down, the prioritization of the quality or the work that you're doing is depleted. And so the next time you do something, I want you to give your full attention to it instead of cutting yourself off every 5 seconds to check your Instagram or your Facebook or to answer a child or do something else that's unfinished on your desk. Really give yourself a timer and set yourself up for success by focusing on one thing at a time. Maybe you're closing out all the other windows on your computer. Maybe you are, really closing the computer altogether, or putting away your technology so you can focus in on one thing or the other. And then the fifth thing I have for you is prioritize and be intentional about what you do. Do you have that to-do list that's like 5 miles long? I know I feel like some days after my brain dump, it is really long. But once you get that long list and you feel once you feel like you finally take one thing off the list, there's 10 more things to add. But sometimes that can be hard. But also remember that our to-do lists are never going to be done, right? We're always going to have something to do. And so it's just a matter of prioritizing the top 3 most important things to do that day. And then everything else you get done in the day just feels like gravy. So really thinking about that long list of things, what are the vital things that have to get done this morning or today or this week, and making sure that you have those 3 things accomplished And you can keep the other things on a separate piece of paper where you can then reorganize them or add to or whatever it might be. And maybe even put timelines on them. Like, does this need to be done in the month of February? Does this need to be done this first quarter? Was this a nice to do? Is this a must do? Organize and prioritize those things so you can be intentional with your activity. And so when you have the things that you need to get done in a day, you can feel accomplished because you got the most important things done and not always feel so far behind. The sixth thing I have for you is to unplug. Unplug by a certain hour of the day, whether it's, maybe an hour before bed is kind of the recommended thing, but making sure that you're kind of getting rid of those blue lights, making sure that you're winding yourself down so you get a good circadian rhythm in your sleep pattern, but then also just kind of shuts your brain down so you can actually rest and recuperate. When you're checking your phone every 5 minutes, your mind is still rushing. Your mind is still thinking about what's going to show up in your inbox. Your mind is still thinking about what you saw on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, and that can really impede our rest, and it can really impede our ability to stay present in the moment. Like, it just kind of feeds that idea of constantly moving and going all the time, and we really want to just be present. And so when you can be more present in your everyday life, you really start to appreciate your life so much more. Even when the negative things show up, you can find the positives, and you can be able to learn the lessons from the things that are showing up in your life that you can continue to improve and to grow and to be stronger, wife, mom, friend, a human being, and all of the things. And you start to realize that life is not as always as stressful and overwhelming as we make it out to be, because we can just focus in and be present with all the things that are happening in our life. So I hope and pray that these little tips, little strategies, these things that I'm working on in my own life, that I can help share with you, some tips and strategies that can help you as well. And we can work together to rise up out of our current situation and live our absolute best life the way God intended to. And so I hope and pray that this serves you, and that you, if you were moved by this today, or it was helpful for you today, that you share this with others that you're sending, Choose to Rise to others that might enjoy this, or sharing on your social media and tagging me helps more people find the show, and really just helps everyone grow. I know the things that I love the most in life were shared to me by my friends. And so sharing is caring. So share away. And I look forward to being back with you here again next time. And until then, have a great day.